Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. I think this video is to the credit of the Nigerian police. I think this video is to appreciate Nigerian police because they bust the bandits during a strategic meeting in Kogi forest for possible attack, and they have arrested some suspects and some of them were killed. So it was not an easy journey. By now, I could have been reporting maybe hundreds of people, 200 people, 300 people has been killed, if not because of the Nigerian police that bust their meeting place, a strategic meeting place, planning to attack Kogi and some parts of Enugu State. I'm going to share the details with you as time goes on. So it's not every day you see if Nigerian police, if they are doing the right thing, if everybody is doing the right thing in Nigeria, nobody's going to talk. Nobody, absolutely nobody. So when you see that we bring news of insecurity going on, we blame the police, we blame the army, we said that the army are colluding, the armed forces are colluding. We are not saying it because we hate maybe the armed forces or the individuals. No, it is because we are trying to establish something, and that thing is let the truth remains the truth. So when we come here to tell you that this is what it is, we are not trying to be biased, because if they do their work, I will still be the same person. I will still come here to tell you that congratulations to Nigerian police or thanks to Nigerian police. So what happened is that the Nigerian police bust the bandits during strategic meeting in Kogi forest for possible attack, arrest suspects. Now, you remember the last attack that happened in Enugu State. By the way, people don't know that Kogi State and Enugu State share boundary together, okay? So the attack that happened in Enugu State, where 3 soldiers were adopted and 30 people, that is 33 now, 30 civilians plus 3 policemen were adopted. So those people, from the information we got, is that they took them, they did not stay in Enugu, they entered Kogi State. That was the information we got then, okay? Now, if they entered Kogi State and today now they were bust, they were caught having the same strategic meeting to attack some villages in Kogi State and probably part of Enugu State, it's an indication that all these things, that all these terrorists that is spreading down to the southward, that if actually that the government should focus on the real people who are causing all these things, I don't think we'll have all these cases today. Now, what happened? Today is January 2025. The Nigerian police force announced that its operative disrupted a group of bandits who were holding a strategic meeting in Budon Forest, Kogi State, in preparation for a potential attack. Okay? Now, the first public relations officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, stated in a Monday release that the bust occurred on Saturday following the intelligence received by the Kogi State Command indicating the bandits meeting and planned assault. Adejobi said the operative of the command were mobilized and deployed to the scene, and upon sighting the police operatives, the bandits engaged the police operatives in a fierce gun duel. Out of the article. One thing about all these terrorists is that they are not afraid of anyone. They are not afraid of police. So when they saw that the police is coming, instead of them to run, they now challenge the police and open fire against the police. Now, what happened? Unfortunately, fortunately, the bandits were overpowered, with 1 bandit neutralized and 4 others arrested. Okay? Now, follow me. The operatives also recover 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 magazines, 30 rounds of live ammunition, and 2 motorcycles, he said. The first spokesperson stated that in other development on the same day, the Dostima Division Police Headquarters, Katsina State, received a distress call that some suspected bandits armed with dangerous weapons were headed to attack Roma Doruwa village, Dusanma local government area of the state. He said police operatives, in collaboration with other security agencies, mobilized, intercepted the armed bandits and engaged them in a fierce gun battle, ultimately leading to the killing of 7 of the bandits. 7 of them were killed, okay? With the rest of the gang fleeing, abandoning 109 livestock suspected to be rustled animals. Out of the article. Imagine that these people, they were many, okay? For them to carry 109 cattle, you know what it means? 109 cattle. Maybe is the one maybe they killed the Hausa people carrying it and they took it from them. You know, this is what they have been doing. And seven of them were killed and others ran away.
In trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria. And a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. What has happened in Nigeria is that most of the time when something comes up today, we never sit back and say, how did we get to this point? We got to this point by virtue of the fact of the effort to remove President Jonathan. There had always been this herder-farmer clash, but it never got to this point where whole communities were exterminated so that some people will be roaming freely within their land, which is what happens in Plateau and in Benue State.
I think Benue is the worst hit.
Precisely. Yeah. And you know why? Because most of the banks of the Benue is lush. Because it's watered by the Benue River. And so these people came and they want. And who are these people? And that's a question that we have not dealt with. The bill first said that we have to confine these people to the ranches within their states of origin. And somebody woke up and said, no, every Nigerian has a right to go around. There's no such thing like a state of origin. Why will anybody make that statement? Reason is that in trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria. And a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. If you ask any Nigerian Fulani, he will tell you that there's something called the Bororo Fulani. And that Bororo Fulani are these imported ones. They don't own land. Therefore, what they want to do is to settle in Nigeria. They were given free passage, let me just say it, by the Buhari regime. And we were shouting at that time, don't bring people into Nigeria who are not Nigerians. They won't have sympathy. They won't know what has happened. All they want to do is displace you, take over your place, and roam freely within that place.
But there were cattle herders as well.
They were, but the Nigerian cattle herders were not carrying AK-47 rifles and other.
So these guys brought their guns with them.
So these guys brought their guns with them. First thing they did was to start to rustle the cattle belonging to Nigerians. And so a Nigerian herder who loses his cattle has nowhere else to go. He becomes part of them because he is given, okay, you either join us or you got nothing. And some of them, of course, joined. And so we have this complicated problem. And this complicated problem is what we want to solve by saying, can we confine you to a particular place? If you have, okay, what you want to do is to move your cattle from where there is grass to another place where there is grass, and you can roam around with them. And I also pointed out on the floor of the Senate that Governor Ganduje at a particular time said, my state, Kanu, has more than enough land for all the herders in Nigeria to go around with it.